Hello, my little llamas. It's so nice to see your faces again. I hope that you are all well and keeping safe. Now, I know some of you are a little bit nervous about coming back to school. And teacher found this beautiful story that I want to share with you. And it's a book written by Nurse Dottie, and she's given me permission to make a video with her book. Now, I really hope that you're going to read with me. Teacher's going to read quite quickly, but I want you to listen very, very carefully. This book explains a little bit about what coronavirus is and how we can protect ourselves. So let's read together. Let's read together. Dave the dog is worried about coronavirus. A book by Nurse Dottie. There was once an owl called Dottie, a nurse with a uniform all spotty. She works in the hospital up the hill, looking after all the children who are ill. Near to Dottie there lives a dog called Dave, who every morning gives Nurse Dottie a wave. But this morning Dave doesn't have his normal grin, because there's something really worrying him. There has been talk about coronavirus everywhere, and hearing about it is giving Dave a big scare. It's on the TV, at home, and school every day. Dave is worried that everything won't be okay. Dave is anxious, and Nurse Dottie can see that. So she decides to stop for a chat. There's lots of different and scary things being said, so Nurse Dottie wants to make sure Dave knows the truth instead. Nurse Dottie tells Dave that coronavirus is an illness that some people will get, but that most people will not get really sick from it. For most, it is like a cold or flu they might get when it's colder, but we should be careful to protect ourselves and those who are unwell or older. Dave asks if it's true that someone has it if they are coughing a lot. Nurse Dottie says coughing is a symptom, but it might not be coronavirus they have got. With coronavirus, they get a fever and maybe a bit short of breath too, but these things are also symptoms of a cold or flu. Nurse Dottie said wearing a mask and washing his hands is the most important thing Dave should do. It should be for at least 20 seconds or singing happy birthday twice through. This will help to try stop him from getting coronavirus himself. And it's a way that Dave can help to protect everybody else. To be safe, if Dave gets ill, he will have to stay at home. But his family would stay with him so he would not be alone. If he's been near others who are ill, then he will stay home then too. There will be plenty of food and lots of things to do. Many things have been cancelled and Dave will not be able to go on holiday. Also, he may not see people he normally does, as at home they may need to stay. Some schools and shops have also closed to stop lots of people being all together, but just for now to keep people safe. It will not be forever. Dave has a grandma and he knows she is a little bit old. He's worried because coronavirus is more dangerous for her, he has been told. Nurse Dottie says it may make her more sick than it would him or his sister. But that is why she will need to stay at home and they will take what she needs to her. If he gets coronavirus, Dave asks, will he need to visit a Nurse Dottie at the hospital? Nurse Dottie explains that no, that is not the case at all. If he is sick, then home is the best place for him to stay, unless he needs some help. Only then to the hospital he would make his way. Nurse Dottie explains that on TV and everywhere, people will say lots of things, but no matter what Dave hears, we are ready for what coronavirus brings. To keep everyone safe is the reason that there are all these plans. All Dave needs to do is stay calm and remember to wash his hands. Now Dave knows the truth. He is no longer scared. He knows what to do to keep himself prepared. He knows to wear a mask, keep washing his hands, and if ill at home, he has to stay. But most of all, he knows he is going to be okay. Wasn't that a beautiful story? I just loved the pictures, and Nurse Dottie sums it up perfectly. So what did we learn from this story, guys? We learned that yes, some people will get sick, but that mostly we won't get that sick, all right? And that also there are lots of ways that we can stop spreading the virus, and we can protect ourselves and others from getting the virus. Now, teacher wants us to look at some of these things. The first thing that Nurse Dottie said was that he needs to wash his hands. And when we get to school, we'll be doing lots and lots of that. Washing our hands all the time, sanitizing our hands, sanitizing our workspaces, our stationery. And this is very important so that we stop spreading the virus, but that we also don't get the virus. The second thing that she said was that we need to wear a mask. And this is because the virus is spread through little droplets that come out of your mouth, all right? And when you cough or sneeze, and sometimes even when you speak. And a mask just protects it from going into your mouth or into your nose. But the reason why we need to keep our hands clean is because we might touch these droplets and put it to our mouths or our nose or our eyes, and that can be very dangerous, and that is how we can get the virus ourselves. So when we get back to school, we will be wearing a mask all the time, okay? The only time that we will not be wearing a mask is when we eat, and it will be for a short while inside the class and not outside, okay? Now next we're going to talk about practicing some of these habits. We're going to wash our hands now. So before we go into the bathroom, we are going to sanitize our hands, but let's go see how we wash them. Once we get into the bathroom, you can see that there are posters that show us exactly how we will wash our hands. So let's start. We start by opening the tap, wetting our hands. We put soap in our hands, and then you must remember to rub the soap everywhere. On your palms, the top of your hands, in between your fingers, and under your nails, right? And it must be for 20 seconds, or you can sing Happy Birthday twice, right? Once we are done, we're going to rinse our hands. And there are no more towels in the bathroom. All we have now are these paper towels. So we grab one and dry our hands. There will be a dustbin where we can throw it in, and that's that. Wearing a mask. Each of us will be receiving a mask that looks like this. We will each have our own bags with our own names on it. So every time we take the mask off, it'll go into our own bags. Right, so before we put on our mask, we make sure that our hands are clean, right? Once our hands are clean, we can gently take out the mask by the elastic, being careful not to touch the face bit. Right, I am then going to put it on. I just hook it behind my ears, and just like that, my mask is on. When I need to take it off, I need to again sanitize my hands and then take it by the elastics, being careful not to touch my face. It will then go straight back into its plastic bag. Right. The school is also supplying us with a screen each, and it looks like this. It has each child's name on it. You can see this one has my name on it because it is my screen. I put it on, and you can see that it's not touching my face, and we will be wearing these when we eat, right? So we can eat without contaminating anyone else. When we take it off from the back, and these screens will be staying at school the entire time. These screens will not be taken home so that they cannot get contaminated. And that's how we wear a mask. How are we going to prepare at home? Well, we can start with small things like washing our hands regularly. Also, to practice wearing our masks for at least 1 hour every day. Remember how we wear our masks, how we wash our hands before we even handle our masks, right? It is also important to remember to keep your distance. As much as we want to hug each other, as much as teacher wants to hug you, it is very important that we keep our distance so that we don't infect the people that we love, right? So we're going to practice these things at home, and the most important thing to remember is that you are going to be okay. Teacher loves you lots, and I will see you soon.